still eating and we're live.
We're not live. It says scheduled.
I can hear you, though.
It says end stream.
Guys, check out this ASMR food chewing pizza bite.
The Nerd Chat, an Xbox podcast.
Is a podcast celebrating all things gaming, food, and the good old days.
Hosted by a group of best friends. If you'd like to find out more, visit nerdchatmedia.com.
This is Cortana. And remember, don't make a girl a promise if you know you can't keep it. As always, Spartans, see you online.
So good. Oh, hello. Daddy D. Wally here, and welcome to... I got a piece of pizza stuck in my tooth. The Nerd Chat. An Xbox podcast celebrating all things gaming, food, and the good old days. We are recording live on August 8th, 2024. And tonight we're going to be talking about Ready at Dawn Dead. Arkane says a new Dishonored, or their new project will make Dishonored to Prey fans happy. Warner Brothers is selling off its video game business, and Doom and Dude 2 are getting enhanced versions. Joining me as always is my son, Grayson Wolensig, my number one son. Love this guy, everybody. All right, thanks, buddy. See you later.
I'm gonna do you something to it.
Thank you, son. Thank you. He just made me a cool wristband. He'll be back later. We have updates about him and his saga from last week as well. Joining me, as always, is the super producer, Chipotle Bear. Chipotle Bear, how are you?
I'm doing great, man. We had officially back to school today with all our teachers, so it was a busy day. Got to hang out with Bacon's wife for a little bit, which was great. We were talking about Game of Thrones and a very pivotal scene.
Oh, stop.
Walkers.
Stop. Wait, Game of Thrones? Not...
Yes, Game of Thrones.
You guys hear? Is that Bubble Boy? Is he phoning in from
the tin can?
A landline somewhere?
It's like a Fallout mic. I love it. I'm doing great, man. Happy to be here to talk all games. And of course, I got some delicious food to talk about at the end of the show. I am absolutely pumped. Great to be here, bud.
And joining us as always, no hot takes this week. X Bacon Gaming. How are you?
Yes, I vowed this week to have no hot takes. I don't want to end up on any of our shorts because I think my last one is going to get me some hate. Don't attack Concord.
Bubble Boy was rooting for Serbia today. Man, what a second half of basketball that was. Bubble Boy and actually, I think he's calling in from Serbia. Bubble Boy, are you there? Can you hear us?
Apparently, calling in from Serbia. Is it really that bad?
I mean, we can understand you, but it does sound.
Yeah, it's.
I don't get it. I spent some good cash on all this.
Yeah,
the mic is fine. I'm sure we'll work on it. We'll work on it.
I thought the XLR mics were supposed to be all fancy and good and better.
Got it.
They are.
Probably just needs a cloud lifter. I'm gonna bet.
Go Rocco, go.
Oh, that's possible too. Okay.
Was nobody else Was I the only one rooting for Serbia today?
Yeah, you were the only.
I was on the fence, bud. I wouldn't have been mad if they won. Because I love.
Because you're not a Nuggets fan, Bacon.
I'm rooting for Nuggets, obviously, in Jokic, but come on, no, I'm USA
all day.
Name one player on there that you don't hate.
Grayson, I'll take him up later. Don't worry. Good night, son.
We're so far ahead in this medal count that it's.
Here we go, guys.
Nobody cares about medals.
Shout out to the chat. Shout out to 1 hour 1 decision. 1 hour 1 decision wrote in, why is Diwali always in the thumbnail? Where is Chipotle and BigBox?
How is it
or
last
X
week?
Bacon? Yeah.
Last couple weeks, and Chance will be soon.
Chris,
the thumbnail has to fit our face. We look for realism.
And I have a very serious face.
And yeah, they've been in other ones. And 1H1D demands excellent. Shout out to Todd Oxtra in the chat as well. Todd, I was just listening to co-op mode, and I really appreciated at the end you were talking about, you're kind of worried about are your kids or younger generations going to have the same experiences as us when it comes to video games. And I don't know. Shout out to BigBox. I don't know anymore, you guys. It's getting crazy over there. Shout out to Dinero Primero. Have a great show, fellas. And shout out to, of course, number one fan, Nissa Howard.
Yeah, Nissa is trying to upgrade her Ally, a hard drive, and it's like not booting now. So she's on she's on support with Asus. I hope that goes well, Nissa. Truly for you.
Well, I was I was going to save this for later, but
Oh, he bought one. He
Oh
freaked out.
God.
Oh,
Absolutely
he did.
I may have made a purchase.
Ooh,
Here we go,
Legion
boys.
Go.
Wow.
Shout out to Nessa. You know what? I'm sick of sitting on the couch watching all these Bravo. I mean, I love Bravo.
He's absolutely not sick of that, though.
But I needed a way to game on the go in the couch specifically. This is just specifically for those couch situations. And I bought an open box, acceptable Legion Go on Amazon. $485. This thing's in immaculate condition. It's already got a screensaver that somebody put on there too, or not screensaver, screen protector. Incredible. So I'll have updates. Right now it's updating, but
How much?
$485.
Oh,
1
yeah.
terabyte too. This screen, you guys, incredible. So shout out to Open Box. Everyone go snag.
Hey, I've been really proud of my Legion PC. So.
Oh yeah, I had a Legion before as well, a laptop that I was going to keep, but I just went with something else. So I shout out to Lenovo. Love their products. Jose, let's jump into Nerd Chat shoutouts. Shout out number 1 to Chief 00, commenting on the Starfield short. I can't wait for the DLC to come out in the fall and visit the distant Varun people on their homeworld. I can't wait either. And I've been playing some Starfield, and I have another cool New Game Plus entry that I need to add that I was going to upload to X platform. I can't wait to share it with you. I got to New Game Plus 10, you guys. I have the final Starborn, jaded Starborn armor is what I'm going to call it, because my guy's just sick of the universe. And shout out to Mariano Papa 2342. Change your name to the PC Chat Podcast. Boo.
Nerds play PC too, Pumps.
But great show, boys. And shout out to EMVY559, laughing out loud at the smacks are trash.
That was Matt Valdez.
Is that Matt Valdez? Yeah, I was going to say that was Matt Valdez. Smacks are trash. Let's be real, guys. Every three to one, hands down. Smacks. Who eats smacks?
They're not my favorite. That's what
Top
I happen
5?
to have right now.
It's like a CD tier for
I
me.
don't recall saying
Exactly,
they were top
Jose.
5.
That's like
Based Jose on that one. And shout out to BigBox1431, who wrote in just hours ago. Nerd Chat. I was so mad at all 4 of you last week. You disregarded my feelings about single-player games and made me feel like I wasn't a man, nor was I 40.
Yeah, click my button.
But then something amazing happened. Well, your sound bites sounded great, Chance. It's just your mic, so if you want to try it. I'm not a man. I'm 40.
My sound bites didn't work at all.
Oh,
mine don't work either.
Those were Jose's.
Oh, that was Jose's? I thought that was yours. Sorry, Big Boy. Sorry. Thank you. I finally played around with Chat. Oh, sorry. But then something happened. I finally played around with ChatGPT and thought how cool it would be if single-player games implemented this tech for dialogue. Imagine asking a miner in Starfield literally anything. Have any of you messed around with this AI chat stuff? And if so, how interested are you to see it built into future games? Personally, I would love it. I hope we see it ASAP. I forgive you. Big Box, I'm so glad you brought this up, because I don't know if you guys saw this. I don't know if you follow David Jaffe. I know Bacon does. Jaffe just recently tweeted him playing a game. I don't know if you saw this. And he was with exactly what Big Box is describing. It was a ChatGPT NPC, and he was just having a full-on conversation with this thing as he was playing. And this AI was cracking jokes about his YouTube channel, and I was laughing out loud at one of his comments. I was like, "Dang, that Skynet Overlord, that was hilarious." And Big Box, this is literally what you were describing. Go check out David Jaffe's Twitter. It just recently happened. I was blown away. I was like, man, how cool would that be? And so, Jose, I see you nodding your head as well. So talk to me about your feelings on this idea.
I'm super interested in AI, and I have played with it a little bit. I mean, my application isn't necessarily to video gaming, but I'll touch back on that here in a second. Where I've really been interested is for education, obviously because of my career and stuff. But I've gone to a ton of trainings over the last year, just in different like conferences and stuff. This summer we went to Nashville, and that was like one of the sessions. And I'll tell you, man, it is incredible. And I, you know, am I worried it's going to take over teaching? No, that's not a reality anytime in, at least in my lifetime, because there's still a lot of human elements that we need in education. But what I will tell you is fascinating is that one of the sessions I learned how AI actually works, because I didn't actually understand how it works. And it was not at all what I thought, even though it very much made sense. And I would happily explain it here, but it's a very long thing. But if you're interested, just go to YouTube and say, how does AI actually work? It's basically like, it's like stringing sentences together based on like consistency, based on like text fed to it. It's like, that's really all it is. It's not this singularity that we learn from like the movies and stuff. However, what is interesting in education and what the application that I'm interested in is, as a teacher, if I was teaching, I could basically teach ChatGPT like who I am as a teacher, what kind of kids I teach, what kind of styles of teaching I like, and then I can use it to help me make resources and stuff. Like insanely fast. Like a bunch of the stuff I saw, this dude, it was a middle school teacher that showed us, was insane. Like his ChatGPT knew that he was a middle school teacher, and he would have conversations with it, and he'd be like, hey, make this thing for me. He'd be like, all right, how about this? And he's like, that's great, but can you add like emoji in it? And be like, no problem. And like, it was very cool to see that. Now with the video game thing, I think that's awesome, especially for NPCs. Where I think that gets really challenging, and this is the reality of AI, is that when you let something use AI, you will never get the same answer everywhere. So like that's a weirdly problematic issue in video games, right? Because like if a plot point is important to like, everybody needs to see a what did I scrape all these?
Shout out to Todd Oxford. Todd Oxford said AI is going to scrape all these podcasts and create a Jose bot. Yeah, Jose, I like your point, but he's specifically thinking, you're right. You wouldn't NPCs. Be able to, for somebody who's like just like Bosco. Bosco would have been a perfect one to just. I would love to hear some of the robot crap he could have been saying at me. That's not scripted, because sometimes he would repeat. I'm like, okay, that was funny the first time I heard of Bosco, but can you tell me something different? So yeah, great point.
Yeah, but that's my point, Dan, is I think for non-critical story plots, AI would be awesome, because imagine Starfield's a great example, like you just said. It would be so fantastic if like I talked to this bartender and they told me a joke, and Dan walked up to it and they made fun of him and he like kicked him out of the bar. Like that would be a really cool implementation of AI where it's not really affecting the story, but it's kind of like the Elden Ring thing where we're so excited to share what we found because there was just so much happening. It's kind of that implemented it potentially in every game. You know, the only one tiny danger is that it's also not perfect with like sentence structure, and sometimes it's nonsensical, so that could also be weird, but that also could be funny. But I think AI in gaming is the future, man. I'm really excited for that.
Jose, you should go watch this clip, and I'll try to find it and share it, because, or maybe I'll retweet it, because like I said, it didn't sound like you were saying like all wonky and everything. I was like, whoa, this is pretty crazy. Bacon, what are your thoughts on AI? Sorry.
I mean, I know we've hit on this a few times in here. I'm all about it if it makes games come quicker. You know, when we're walking through a market and there's all this chatter going on the side, having that kind of stuff be AI, and then having side quests and non-critical plot points being AI, I'm okay with that. I just don't want to see a time when voice actors or the writers in games lose their jobs because of AI. And then, you know, we're getting a real slippery slope with them sampling people's voices. And then next thing you know, I'm hearing Christopher Walken say Foo Fighters.
You got right Jose bots everywhere.
Right. So that is always going to be concerning to me. But I think overall, we can't avoid it. It's here. It's coming. No. NVIDIA is making billions producing GPUs for AI, and it's absurd. So it's here to stay, and as long as we can use it responsibly, and this is the reason why they're striking right now. So,
Bubble Boy, any thoughts? Sorry, shout out to Big Rocco right here.
No, I think our co-host summed it up pretty perfectly. It goes along with kind of what was it just last week we were talking about this with the jobs and stuff and the SAG-AFTRA, or that was a couple of weeks ago, I think. But I more than anything, I would say we cannot just denounce it and run away from it and say it's bad. And then also praise be Legion So
Shout out to Legion.
as soon as they're ready.
Did you want to say anything else? Because I think you were going to say something.
No, I agree with Bacon wholeheartedly. I should clarify that. Like, I don't want a world where an AI is really replacing that kind of talent, because I think talent is exactly what that is, and that's not what AI is. But I also think this is a way that one could save studios money and could also make things better. Because imagine, instead of having to pay 100 people for their voices to voice NPCs that say 10 lines of dialogue, that could all be AI covered, and then that money could either go to the voice actors, or it could just be cheaper, so studios can make games faster and it not cost them as much. So I agree with you 100%. I just wanted to clarify that.
It all depends on the situation, and like I said, Vasco would have been awesome. Like, that fits him perfect. He's totally. AI, like, or Legion, like some NPCs like that. Heck yeah, do it.
Yeah.
And but curiously though, or I am curious, if are we ever going to find out who BigBox is? Is BigBox AI?
BigBox?
Is BigBox Legion?
We don't know.
There goes Bubble Boy hurting Bigbox's feeling. We were on a roll.
No,
We just
it's not hurting his feelings. Praise be, man.
Last shout out.
I have a question real quick for Todd Oxtra.
Okay.
Hey, what are we getting with this Tim Walls guy?
Oh, God, we're not do politics. By the way, the whole politics things, you know, it's so funny. If you want to talk politics, we'll just do this really quick. The whole thing when the whole assassination of Trump, did you guys realize we didn't even talk about for like 2 weeks at all? Or Biden falling out of the race, like these historical events. And then I was thinking, when I was at work, we didn't even talk about it either. Like, that's how numb as a society we are. Like, we didn't
it just doesn't apply here. That's why
I know, but
I
was just surprised, even at work, like nobody even brought up like, hey, our former president. This is assassination attempt. Anyway, shout out to everybody in the chat. Shout out to Todd. Oh, De Niro asked what we do. De Niro, Chance is a counselor. Jose is an administrator, principal, assistant principal. Jose could be a freaking superintendent of Aurora Public Schools someday if he really wanted to be. Bacon is a retired cop, and he works. Bacon, do you want to share what you do or not?
Well, my wife is a teacher, so that's why I get to live vicariously. But I am the head trainer in my facility and do all the new hire training, so I teach.
He also makes his trainees listen to video game podcasts, which that's amazing. I wish that was my life.
And De Niro, I work for at the district level for our homeless education and
enforcing
law.
federal law.
Correct. I mean, I really do. And Chance actually emailed or texted me today asking, "Why do I gotta do this?" Sorry, Bubble Boy.
No,
it was a change. I don't blame you. Jose, let's jump into Nerd Chat or Xbox news for the week.
News team, assemble!
News story number 1. Rest in peace, Ready at Dawn. The 20-year-old studio and the developer of The Order 1886 mega hit was shuttered by Meta. Bubble Boy, you want to take it away? I think Bubble Boy was responsible for all these news stories this week.
Not all of them, just most of them.
Take it away.
I think I put it up here for 2 reasons. One, it's sad. I think it's sad anytime that these developers have to close up shop. And it was interesting me because Bacon, I assumed, would appreciate this, in that everybody says Xbox is always the bad guy, right? And this isn't Xbox being the bad guy. I liked 1886, the Order 1886. I knew exactly what I was expecting, or it was exactly what I was expecting when I went into it. I didn't have these grand expectations that it would be the next epic game, but it looked great. That game still looks pretty darn good, honestly, if you looked at it or if you played it right now. And so I'm just sad, and it sucks that, because I'm still a little confused. It used to be, it was never owned by Sony, right? But just had close ties with Sony, but Meta shut it down, and that's the future that I want to make sure we avoid, where all these companies that have nothing to do with video games are starting to control our universe and shutting good developers down. So,
did anyone else play it besides me and Bubble Boy?
I thought Jose did.
I didn't. I wanted to, and I just never got there. I remember. I remember it heavily back then.
Start bringing all these games to PC. Bacon, you didn't either.
Oh yeah.
I'll say this. I put The Order. I enjoyed it for what it was, just like Chance said. I knew what I was expecting, and to me, it was similar to Hellblade, and I saw a lot of comparisons to that. Yeah. And like, those are fair comparisons, and I think both highly over criticized games, Bubble Boy, and if you just enjoy it for what it is, it was a good time, and they had a good base, Bubble Boy. It's sad that they never got that chance to make a sequel because I really think they could have gone somewhere with it. But yeah, shout out to Ready at Dawn. That was kind of a mistake that placed. I don't know. They were. I don't know. Bacon, did you want to say something? Sorry.
Yeah, go ahead.
No, I mean, I have no attachment to Ready to Dawn whatsoever. And again, I hate seeing teams close down, especially with a company like Meta. Ugh, that company. So it sucks. There's just a bunch more devs out there to be hired by.
The Meta Quest is pretty good though, Bacon. I hear it's pretty.
No, I
did use it Meta though.
It's the most affordable. I just don't care for Zuck.
Zuckerberg has ruined children.
That's fair.
Okay. Well.
Not a hot take.
All right. But I do want to shout out one more thing about Ready at Dawn. The tech that they had back on the PS4 for that game, I remember just recently, Bacon. I don't know if you saw
impressive.
it. Yeah, it was super. It's super impressive, and I think Digital Foundry did a video not too long ago about how crazy how that technology and their visuals were back then, and even like comparing it to today's games, like how they basically set everything up for modern gaming when it comes to some of the graphics and stuff
Wasn't
like that.
the order like 4 hours long?
Oh,
Yeah,
God, Bacon. And so was Hellblade. Moving on to news story. Oh, wait, I did want to shout out. Matt Valdez said, "Hey, fellas, I'm setting up my new ultra-wide monitor and moving my PC from the living room to the office now that he's got the Magnus desk now?
Yeah, he
Gosh.
actually had it before I had, and it's been sitting in
Oh,
the
my
box for
gosh.
months.
Almost at Bacon levels of PC mastery. Shout out. Dude, I'm happy for you, Matt. That is awesome. By the way, Matt, I love my ultra-wide when I game on this thing. The OLED ultra-wide, you guys, it's just a whole nother experience. I purchased Ace Combat for PC, Bacon. I'm going to get the HOTAS and Flight Stick, and I'm going to try to stream it with it like a real pro, you guys. With this ultra-wide.
Okay.
He's going to wear his jacket and glasses.
Oh, I got the Top Gun jacket.
Are you sure it supports ultra-wide before you spend all this money?
I did not. Well, good point. Shout out to XEP, Luke Lohr himself. And Luke, are we ever going to get you on the show, like a real full show before school started? School started. Jose,
he's East Coast. So
He's out on the East Coast. Yeah, they
December,
probably
but
just
he's got a
started
month to
summer.
get him in here.
set that up for us. All right. Joe on Nissa said Joe on the trophy room said the PlayStation a bum. Yeah, I think that would have been a good pick. Boy, better than Bungie. Am I right, guys?
No hot
Nice.
takes.
Oh, Matt, great monitor. I think we've got the same one. Shout out to the ultra wide OLED. I was not invited. Luke, we've invited you for a long time now.
I will send Luke a formal invite.
Yes, thank you, Jose. Set that up. Put him on the calendar, please. News story number 2. Arkane co-founder says Dishonored and Prey fans will be happy with his next game. And I think, who shared that? I think Matt Kennedy shared that in our fantasy league, which there's a whole lot of drama going on there we can talk about later. But I immediately responded to this with, let's see if these so-called fans actually buy this game this time. So take it away, Bubble Boy.
Well, meaning what? So
people love Dishonored 2, and nobody bought it. It was critically acclaimed, and nobody bought it. Same with Prey. Nobody bought that and didn't play it until much later on. No money was made on those games, I guarantee. So go take it away, Bubble Boy.
Yeah. I don't know, can you hear me any better to turn in the mic?
No,
It changed the tone. Just get a little closer to it real quick for me.
Okay, update everyone. Bubble Boy went out and spent. He's sucked into the podcast game.
Celebrating the almost.
He was in Paris watching Serbia play the United States, and he's calling it a landline. No, he got a new, what is it called? XLR.
Yeah, an XLR mic.
Finger, blah, blah, blah,
I think it sounds better.
I don't know what's going on, and not his normal USB mic. And this one, it sounds like
it's supposed to be better.
It's better. It literally sounds better right now.
Perfect. All right. Well, I will get into Arkane co-founder.
Which one?
I don't even know what we're saying.
Yes,
what are we talking about? Who are we here for? Is this a politics podcast? Can I tell you who I'm voting for? So Raphael
Wolf Eye Studios co-founder.
We'll reveal a bit more about our next game in a few days. Fans of the previous first-person games I was involved with Dishonored and Prey will be happy. I'm obviously thrilled to hear that. I would think you would be too. I know you didn't say you weren't. You're just saying you hope people buy it, but I think we all loved Prey. And I had the worst experience with Prey, and I'm super excited. So I expected you guys all to be pretty excited about it too.
Before we move on, Luke is supposedly coming. Live update from Todd Oxtra, official intern now for Nerd Chat. He said Bubble Boy sounds like he's using a webcam mic, and he also said, "What the heck is that? A Fiverbian? What is that? Mic tech? Does anyone know what the heck that comment is about?
Serbian mic
Serbian.
tech.
Oh, sorry. Just like the jerseys. Okay, gotcha, Todd. So, Bacon, you haven't played either of these.
What?
I've played a little bit of Dishonored too.
Dude,
Bacon, you got to play Prey, dude. It's so good.
Like it. I tried it.
So but this is exactly what happened to me. It's why I said I had the worst experience, even though it was an incredible experience. I got to the part right where you see the first little monster, and I was like, this mimic sucks. This is not for me. And I stopped right there. Come to find out, that is literally right when the entire game opens up and it starts to get so good. Okay. So when did you? There he is. When did you quit? Like, what part were you at when you quit?
It was like within the first hour. It was quick.
Did you get the reveal, like where you're like, oh, where am I? Did you get to that part?
Dang it, Bacon.
Yeah. Well, I think Luke answered our question of whether or not he's still on summer vacation. So.
Oh, is that why he's wearing those cool dudes?
What up, guys? Yeah. I don't know. I just put them on. They're Hello Kitty Island Adventure.
Oh, perfect.
So sweet.
Luke, deep with the swag. I love it.
All right, thank you.
What's your professional opinion on my new mic sound? Is it terrible?
It's awful, bro. It's truly terrible.
All right, Luke, let's get it back onto the show here. Luke, thanks for joining us.
Are you sure it's plugged in? Like you're using the right one? Like it feels like the mic you're using is like, you know, when it switches, auto switches?
It's my camera here, huh? Yeah.
All right, Luke.
Well, he doesn't have the Elgato software, so maybe he's missing some drivers. I don't know.
Is that the Elgato fancy mic?
Luke, I always appreciate honesty, so thank you.
I love you, buddy. I'm sorry. I came in. So if y'all already talked about it, like I logged in. I was like, oh, I can play with it. You're like, join. I was like, okay.
Shout out to Matt Valdez. He said Luke is fresh out of the Matrix after that Arctis headset review.
That was the worst.
Good review. Go check it out on XP.
Luke, tell me your thoughts first about Arkane or not Arkane, the previous Arkane creative director and this new game. And what are your thoughts on Dishonored and Prey and whether or not this is going to be successful or have, like you like to say, is this going to hit like Indiana Jones or not? What do you think?
I think it's way too early. I think right now he's drumming up interest. He's like, what else would you say to get people interested?
Okay.
Because we're in a stage now where like small fan bases from back in the day suddenly act like everybody loved it, and that's like nobody played Dishonored. Nobody like by comparison, right?
Yeah.
And so now like he's saying that to get people riled up talking about it. And so I think I'm happy to hear that on account of like fans wanting something, but I don't think it's time to get excited just yet.
And did you play both Dishonored and Prey?
No.
See, there you go.
You play neither of them?
Dishonored was one of those things where like I started, I'm like, this is the most boring thing in my life. But like that's 2013, 2012, whatever, like old,
old Luke, yes.
Yeah, I'm a very different gamer now. So would I enjoy it? Probably, because I feel like the DNA of that has made its way into other titles that have been played.
Did you like oh god, the one that on 2020 release? Gosh, the one where you like it's the death loop.
Never played it. I swear to you, every time I downloaded it, because every time I played, I was like, oh, it's the Dishonored guys.
Stuff like this worries me because Callisto Protocol and my love for Dead Space, and it's kind of stuff.
Bacon, you liked the game for a while. You got tired of the
Protocol. It's not a bad game at all.
You liked it, and I liked the game for the record.
Bacon rage quit on it, Luke. He literally rage quit and stopped at the end because of the combat at some point.
So I remember hearing that, but like when I played, I like Callisto Protocol a lot, but I'm a big fan of AA and like, depending on where we're at. But I know what he's saying because it had Dead Space vibes, but it wasn't Dead Space, especially when you play the remaster.
Well, it came out this week that Mr. Schofield said he has rushed to put it out by the publisher, and he wished he had much more time. So,
I mean, hindsight, sure. What else is he supposed to say? You know, like because he wants another job. So what else would he say except if I had time to do it right,
I would have done it right.
So.
And Luke, quickly, your thoughts on Ready at Dawn? Any experience with Order or the studio?
Yeah, love Ready at Dawn because they did the PSP versions of God of War. Is that right?
Yeah.
Oh.
They
See, I was
touched
never
a
big into
lot
God
of
War.
really important games. They had
did.
their hands in a lot of pies.
And the Order, I know you like. I heard your joke about Hellblade and it being short. It was too short, but it was cool. It's just you can't.
Wait, Luke. Why was that game too short and Hellblade was not?
Well, first of all, have you played both?
Yes.
Okay, so
platinum, and thousand on all of them.
Yeah. Okay, so same. Order to me felt like you really were just pushing forward and watching a lot longer than you were in Hellblade. And again, when did we play Order? 2014?
14, yep.
And I felt like I was just watching it, whereas Hellblade, I felt like I was experiencing it. And those are such douchey ways to explain it, right? Like, it sounds very pretentious to say that. But I did feel like Order felt linear, and Hellblade was linear, explore by choice.
Okay.
Who knows? Like, I feel like there were two.
I'll give you Hellblade had more of the psychological element to it.
You're about
to
be attacked, Dan.
What? I'm about to be attacked? What are you talking about?
Nothing.
Don't worry about it.
Nothing.
What the? All right, Jose, take it away with news story number 3.
Sorry, news story number 3 is all about Warner Brothers this week. So if you didn't hear the news, the one reading through is coming from BGC for us, but it's all over the news space, specifically from yesterday, that Warner Brothers Discovery is reportedly considering selling its stake in its video games business, and it's considering licensing its IP. So this has been a hot topic because Warner Brothers, if you don't know, it really has their hand in like Hogwarts as a franchise, basically all the DC stuff. So like Suicide Squad, Injustice games, potentially like the Warner Brothers the Batman Arkham games, Mortal Kombat. Like there's a lot that they have. And so if they're going to step out of the business, the question is what happens to that IP? Like Luke is no stranger saying with Chance and Bacon, like the Arkane games, the Arkham games, not Arkane, are some of our favorite games like that we've ever played. And so to just lose that IP seems like a big loss. But then the question is like, who buys it? Do they own it forever? Or is it just a part-time license? Like there's a lot of things coming here. I guess the only thing I'll say real quick, and then I'll pass it to you guys, is I'm just really glad that this company understands that what they have is valuable to fans. And while they're like not interested necessarily in pursuing it themselves, they're willing to at least say like, if someone's really interested, let's talk, right? I think that's better than just like, we're going to own it forever. And then it's kind of lost to the ether basically. Cause that is what we've seen, I think, unfortunately, with a lot of the closures of the last 3-4 years, is that they own these IPs that do mean a lot, and then they're just in limbo, and no one can do anything with them, even though they're valuable. So, Bacon, what do you think about this, man?
When you think about stuff like this, they've always been multi-plat and stuff like that. So I'd hate to see someone buy anything related to this and make it exclusive, because my stance on exclusivity is stupid, and we should all get rid of it. So the only company that buys things and puts things on other platforms would be Xbox. So Xbox should definitely buy all of Warner Brothers Gaming and just call it a day, but we know that's not going to happen. So, would I like them to see them, definitely license the Batman IP and just go hog wild with it? I absolutely would. I don't know what teams would be interested in that, but gaming's in a really strange place right now, and studios are closing left and right, and layoffs, and I'm actually starting to get concerned for the hobby we all love.
Whoa, Luke, what do you think?
As far about what exactly WB possibly selling off assets?
Yeah, what do they even have that's like that would be valuable?
They have a lot.
By the way, why was I on the thumbnail as this?
Because your face.
I've never played it.
With the kid, dude. Like I can't. Bacon and Chance have hats in their heads. They didn't have hats at Hogwarts.
Okay. Sorry.
That's true.
Oh, I do. I didn't even think of that.
What when it comes to like what WB has, they've got a lot of value, but it's not at a great point. Like nothing WB is doing right now is great except for Mortal Kombat.
What
in
about
terms of
2023's number one best-selling game, Hogwarts Legacy?
so as far as the Harry Potter IP, I don't think they're doing well as a company overall. I think Hogwarts Legacy even caught them off guard just by the way they were handling stuff.
It sure did.
You know, that said, the game was incredible. Those Harry Potter fans deserved it. But WB as an entity, I don't trust to handle their IP nor their talent within. You've got to do something great with NetherRealm. You've got to make use of the DC IP across everything. Arkham, Wonder Woman, whatever else DC's got going on. They've got a lot of potential things, but I just don't see a world where they do right. And to Bacon's point, I'm not a big fan of exclusivity, with some exceptions. I would say I like exclusivity on some levels, but when it comes to big IP, I hate that Spider-Man's locked on PlayStation.
Yeah, so lame.
I would never want
lame.
Batman to be locked onto Xbox or anything like that. Star Wars should never be. I don't want some of these bigger IP to be locked in. So if I'm WB right now and I've got to make money, I'm going to be looking to license out my characters to any developer willing to make a high profile, worthwhile game. I'm making sure that I be careful about what I sell versus what I license out. Make sure I see the value in NetherRealm, because they've just been doing hit after hit after hit. They're one of the few studios left that doesn't miss. And like, what does that even mean anymore at this point? And they never will, but learn the lessons from Suicide Squad. Don't give people what they're not asking for. Like, who cares if you're making another Arkham game? That's a surefire bet at a time where you can't afford to miss. And to Bacon's point, our industry is suffering. So like, it's okay to reiterate if your big risk is going to flop, like the $10 billion loss, I think it was. And like, as a diehard Arkham fan, Suicide Squad is offensive. I put a lot of time into it, but that's
offensive.
Yes, absolutely. Like, they took the legacy of the Arkham franchise built on 5 single-player games, the Arkham quadrilogy plus the DS game.
So you just want the same thing over and over. Am I talking?
You want another Mass Effect? It's the same thing.
You just pitched to me how you wanted more Arkane, more Dishonored.
No, I didn't say that.
You were. Are we excited about this? Like, come on. We just talked about how Glenn Schofield should have been making the better Dead Spaces. Like, we do want more of that. You've got to be careful with it. And Suicide Squad is such a big departure, and they tried to sell on the Arkham name for so long. And then what you get, who the hell wants to play as Mrs. Freeze when you got Deathstroke, Killer Croc, all these other dope characters? And then, like, what are you going to do with King Shark? You're going to use a minigun? Like, all of these choices are so bad. It has nothing to do with, what was it? I forget the DEI company they were trying to blame. The one that consulted on them. Whatever. It has nothing. Yeah, whatever that was. It has nothing to do with that. Nobody wants to play a looter shooter with the wrong Joker and these characters that aren't mainstream. Like, it's just dumb.
And it's insane. Like Arkham Knight was 2015, Luke. You're telling me
that was bad management.
In a decade, we have not had an awesome Batman game on any platform. And I'm not counting the VR one that's in development.
Yeah,
that's modern gaming.
No, guys. Like, think about how long it was between Spider-Man games.
We just played Shadow of the Erdtree.
That, again, a game of a generation. We can't expect every game to be Elden Ring.
But they have the Batman licensed property in front of them, Dan. It's a well.
Okay, so hold on. Let me throw these questions out to you, because Todd asked good points. Can you imagine, you guys, the Coalition making a Batman game? How sick that would be. That's what Todd.
Incredible.
That's like a dream scenario, Todd. But I don't want to.
I feel like that's a Robert Pattinson.
That's
Batman.
never going to happen. That's just too good to be true. But Todd said, I'd rather have exclusivity than a bad licensed game. What do you guys think about that?
Yes, I agree with Todd to that point. Absolutely.
If that was the choice, a good game or everywhere, of course I would choose the good game.
Really?
Yeah.
But you're assuming it's going to be bad. Why can't we have both? Why can't it be a good game and not be exclusive? To be honest, guys, I am shocked Spider-Man is in Marvel Rivals, and that's going to be multi-platform, and that he was even in Midnight Suns, because of how stingy Sony can be with that IP for some reason. But
I think Avengers taught them something. They had Avengers and Ultimate Alliance 3. Spider-Man was in Ultimate Alliance 3, not in Avengers for PC and Xbox. I think that taught them something.
Okay.
I don't know what. But it's
Did you get a chance to talk about this? I'm sorry. I was
Not a
I was
ton,
beating
and
my son. Sorry.
No, that's okay. Just FYI, we're all mandatory reporters. And I just it sucks. The biggest thing I wanted to talk about on here, Jose nailed. It's that second to last sentence on the article that I sent. There has not been a good, Jose, I think, used the word awesome. I'm going to say good Batman game since 2015. So even if they announced one tomorrow, that would be a decade at least to have a good Batman game. That's not fair. That sucks. And I'm not going to say it doesn't have to be a good game. Like, I am such a pushover. It would be so easy to make me happy with a Batman game or another Injustice. Like, they could phone it in and it would still probably be awesome. Not completely phone it in. Like, I'm not talking about Suicide Squad phone it in, but just like, hey, this is Injustice 2.5. We're just going to put a few new skins on here, updated controls, graphics, do a couple
stories.
Yeah,
Ditch the gear system.
Yeah,
like
it wouldn't take much, man. It wouldn't take much. And it just, I will reiterate what Jose said to begin with, though. It's exciting to think that some of these IPs that have been getting dusty might get dusted off. Shadow of War, right?
Mhm.
Haven't seen anything from them in a while. Todd, I didn't realize this when I first saw it, but he's absolutely right. Game of Thrones is an IP that
He's absolutely right.
Daniel, stop it. You are the only person on the
I don't know
planet
how you
that
haven't
hasn't.
seen that, Dan.
It's insane, Dan.
I watched the first season and I was like, I'm so bored.
You just
told
criticized
I've
them.
never watched it.
You just
Thank you,
criticized
Luke.
them.
It's so boring, dude. You're not. It's so boring. Like, literally, I'll explain an episode for you. You watch some political complaining and fighting for 50 minutes, then something crazy happens for the last 10, and that's it. That's
bro.
every episode.
Oh my
That's
God, dude.
Chance is laughing because he knows I'm right. Like, it doesn't.
No, because I'm like, how do I even respect you? I don't.
I'm so mesmerized on my fourth playthrough of that show.
Oh gosh. Anyway,
And the other reason I put it on here is just because I'm curious. I don't know. We'll have to go to econ teacher Chapeau here. Does Phil Spencer have the coffers to pony up for one of these IPs?
He has the money.
Luke wants to respond. Go ahead.
Legally, there's no way the government will let him. There's not a chance they're going to
Why?
let him buy that. It's too much. They're too strong at that point. Like,
But
they're arguably
not
too strong
just
now.
buy IP to buy the Batman license.
What? Yeah. Why is that crazy? They're not buying studios.
They're licensing and buying, I think, is the difference.
Yeah.
question,
Yeah, that's
right.
That's fair.
Like, licensing out, yeah, they nobody's gonna mess with them, but like the FTC is still coming for them right now because they
Yeah.
raised the cost of Game Pass. Like, what are you talking about? Like, not you, damn it. Like,
Yeah,
FTC's just weirdly. I don't know who slept with who, but
That's-
someone on the board of directors really made someone else mad. It's
Jim
very
Ryan.
strange. Yeah, it's so strange.
I
Like,
blame the Series S.
it's you and me
Obviously.
both, bro.
Yeah.
I call it the series Jim Ryan-esque. Like,
Yeah.
it's all I'm blaming everything.
Everything on the Series S.
Yeah, and that consulting studio, that name I can't
Yeah.
freaking remember. But you can't, when it comes to like Xbox, as far as acquiring, I don't think they get to acquire for another 2 years. I just don't think they get to. I can't imagine Phil Spencer emailing. I'm emailing to apply for discretionary funds to purchase such and such. It's like, we just spent $70 billion. Calm down.
Go watch
The
it.
Nerd Chat podcast. Can he acquire them? I hear he's a big fan.
Yeah.
Discount.
Please, we'll be the
But
official.
here's what we'll do. We'll just
Not
accidentally buy like the Flash IP and it'll be bad.
What's wrong with the Flash?
Oh,
Who doesn't like the
They're-
Flash?
You guys are DC fanboys.
Flash fans have been kicked in the nuts, just like DC fans, because the latter seasons of that show and that movie, nothing
That
was
movie
worse.
was pretty bad.
Can you imagine? All right, I'm so
here we
sorry,
go.
y'all. I just
Luke's
took
going
over.
off, guys. Here we
Can
go.
you
Right after Luke.
imagine us getting Ben Affleck, who's a legitimately great Batman? You can argue
Yes.
writing or not, but like
I
a
agree.
legitimately great Batman.
He
And I
is.
think we saw some great stuff from him in that. And then you get Michael Keaton Batman, legitimately great Batman and amazing, and you put him in the same movie, and it's bad. What? Like, it was like, yeah, old Michael Keaton spinning spaghetti around on a table, calling it a film. I'm like, what is this?
But that wasn't, to be fair, that wasn't the Flash's fault. That's the writer's fault.
Oh, yes, but like, also he was bad in that movie.
Well, yeah,
Like,
was that?
I think like he needs a good director. Some actors just need good directing. or the right director might be a better way to put it. And he was just bad. Like the only good aspect.
I thought he was a good Flash at the beginning. I have to say, I thought he was decent.
When he was directed by Snyder.
And yeah, okay, I guess that makes more sense.
That's what it was, because they were on their 15th director or whatever it was for Flash, and Andy, what's his name, was just trying to make a movie, and it was bad. It was just bad everywhere.
Okay, DC problems aside, let's get it back into the chat. And Todd has been throwing off some crazy ideas. Todd asked, how long did it take in Halo Infinite? Halo Infinite's good. It's a great game, actually. I don't like this. We're not going to trash Halo Infinite here, all right, Todd? And that was only 6 years. That was 2015 to 2021.
I don't know.
Infinite was a great game.
I don't know what gents like Todd want from Halo, because I've heard this before. Yeah. I don't know what they want.
He doesn't even play Halo.
Well, what gets them in? Because if it's too modern, then you're playing COD, and if it's
too old Halo, people are like, this isn't gonna. You're not gonna draw new players. Yeah,
losing this weird element.
Yeah, the diehards are always complaining. And Todd said, look at the TMT games. Wasn't that new one that's on Switch?
Shredder's Revenge was solid, but it was short though. It was not. It was. I guess.
But the roguelike one that just came out, or the
Fate.
Yeah.
I hear that's fantastic. Mr. Matty Plays has been raving about that game, saying like that's one of his favorite games this year. And
Luke, you played that, didn't you?
No, it's only on Switch, and I have Apple Arcade. I'm desperate to play it. I watched.
You don't have a Switch?
I do, but like I'm not turning it on. Like you want me to play Indiana Jones? Going and dusting off that thing is Indiana Jones.
That's fair.
Todd also said with Xbox buying Warner Bros., at least I can see the game going multi-platform eventually. Yeah, I mean, I guess that's a pro of the Microsoft
no console needed
these days.
But here's the problem: why I think even if Phil didn't have the FTC down his throat, and if he got the money from Microsoft, I still don't think he would buy Batman, because it's too big of a risk. Because
he'll be thrown under the bus just like it was with Tomb Raider.
Exactly. He could make a great game, but it's not good enough, and all he gets is criticism and no glory from it, right? Or and even worse, he makes a bad game, and he will never live that down, because now he's ruined an entire
He ruined Batman.
Truly. So I don't think that'll happen.
I like Todd's last point, though. He said he liked Halo. I'm just saying the games are taking too long. And Todd, I completely agree with you. Like hearing these guys being like, well, we haven't seen a Batman since 2015. Yeah, games take a long time, and that's the bigger problem. Games are taking way too long. I've been saying this for years. We need to shift what we expect from these first-person single-player experiences. They need to be shorter, focused. We don't need 40-hour games, especially when we are seeing the data in achievements and trophies. People do not finish games. You need to draw somebody in quick. You need to have a good gameplay hook right away, and just hope that player will play it and get connected to it. And I think, Luke, you were talking about this, or I can't remember if it was you or someone was saying how like there needs to be some sort of social media aspect to it, and advertising or marketing with it. And
they need to do better.
They need to do better. I think you were saying that, Luke, about like having like TikToks and Instagram, like Reels, just like something viral to get people to try these games. And I don't know, man. And the more I think about it, like what BigBox has mentioned to us before, and I think Bacon just earlier saying too, like maybe we should be more worried about where things are heading, because I was thinking about this a lot this week. Why are we not getting new players? Why is mobile, gaming growing so much? Luke is seeing it in the classroom. What are kids doing all the time? What's the most important thing to them? Their phones. And then what are you seeing? What are you seeing on their phones? Quick scrolls, quick instant, like their attention span is so short, and that's why these multiplayer games hit, or these short little Madden clips work, like, or the NCAA college, like I'm seeing those clips working like that. Gaming is heading into a different spot, and we are the olds. And I don't know. I can't remember if Luke, you were saying that too, and like it's concerning. Luke,
that was my Indiana Jones argument too.
Yeah, but I feel like India has, for us olds, I do think it's not going to be like this big massive hit, but it'll do all right just because of us.
I hope so.
Every single one of us in the chat is super pumped for Indiana Jones, but does that even matter to Microsoft? Like,
is that the risk? Is that the same risk you're talking about, like with Batman? Is Indy big enough to where like you could ruin Indy?
Yeah, you could probably ruin Indy.
No, but not enough people care about Indy.
Yeah, you could ruin Indy, but Batman's a whole nother animal.
So much.
Skull, like,
but only a Christian.
Or the last one.
Batman,
I mean,
is the best Batman.
The last story. news story here. Doom and Doom 2 are getting new enhanced versions, and they're out now. Who put this? Who's a Doom fan?
What are you talking about? We're all
This
Doom
is
fans.
big. This happened today.
Original Dooms, though. These are original. By the way, I went back and
OG.
played these on Game Pass. Thank you very much. Go ahead.
So I was the one who put the story in here, and I put it in for actually a specific reason. So this last weekend, my wife and I took our kids to Vegas, which was a lot of fun. I didn't get to listen to XCP yet because of it. I'm on it, Luke. I promise. But when we were there, one of the nice things, because it was truly a vacation, because like I'm not a huge gambler and stuff like that, and so I got to finish this book, Doom Guy, which is an autobiography of John Romero, who's one of the original creators of Doom. And dude, it's an average size book, but dude, the font is tiny. This took me forever to read. But it was a really, really cool story.
Wait, Jose, pull that back up for our audio listeners. That's average, Jose? Oh no.
He's
like most books, if you go to the library today, like
Bubble Boy, that's average size.
That's what she said.
Don't tell my wife.
Anyway, it's a really cool story about his childhood, but then it gets into like the bulk of the book. No joke, no pun intended. There is entirely about his like what it was like to create these games in a time when like gaming wasn't prolific, and it was fascinating to like hear this story and listening to how they developed like shaders and how they made 3D mapping, because that was like not part of gaming and stuff, was really, really fascinating. And so I put this in here because if you are relatively younger or if you're relatively new to gaming, Doom is not just this, it is a monster IP today, right? Like everybody's excited for Doom.
Cannot wait for
like
Doom,
the new Doom that's coming out, the
Zero.
medieval one. I'm pumped for it as well. But you have to understand that like this has a long lineage, right? And it's gone through. There's a lot of political stuff that it's been through. Like when the first Doom released, it was like right around the time they were blaming games for like violence, and then like Doom came around like Columbine and stuff like that. And so like it's a truly fascinating like comparison of like games and history and all that kind of stuff. And so like I myself have never finished the original two Dooms. I've played them a couple times, but these are on sale right now for $10, and they've got an enhanced version. And that was the other cool part, that where this story ends, it ends in like 2020. Like it's actually relatively modern, and it's talking about John Romero's actually going back and making more levels for Doom with his son. Like his son is now grown up and is like programming. Cool. They live in Ireland of all places, which is cool. And so I just thought this was worth mentioning. Like, again, if you're a gaming fan, this is an awesome thing to have just kind of in your backlog or something to play. Like if you have a portable, like a brand new Legion Go or an Ally, hopefully with the new hard drive Nissa, this is a great thing just to have on there because it'll run pretty smoothly. But it's just fun gaming. Like this isn't the like everybody arguing about, is it good and is it too long? And you know what, it's just like we go in and we shoot monsters from hell and we have a great time. Like it's a cool thing. So wanted to shout that out. And again, if you're a reader and you like video games, this was a great book. It's worth checking out.
Anybody have any thoughts on Doom, or should we move on?
I'm not a reader.
You have to know how to read.
I don't read books.
Yeah, no, I'm not going to read that book either. Luke, I'm assuming you read that book. You're a reader, right?
No.
Oh, okay.
Is it on audiobook?
Oh yeah, probably.
Doom Guy? Yeah.
If you could ever get John Romero on one of your interviews, dude, because you're an amazing interview, straight up, like that would be rad. Just throwing that out.
I actually might. Like Cliff's like, I know Romero, and like he tells me that all the time. I'll be like, maybe I'll poke him. I don't know.
Yeah. And honestly, one of the coolest things about the story, just real quick, is that basically the way he was with his team is like how we are. It's like how Luke is with Logan and we are with Joe and Kyle. Like they're truly were just good friends who loved games and they made them together. And don't get me wrong, there's some drama and there was some falling out. But even today, he even says in the book, like, look, we still talk to each other like multiple times a week now. And we're all millionaires upon millionaires and can do whatever we want. And we just still love talking about games and stuff. And he's actually really big into like game preservation now and stuff like that. So it's cool, man. It's a cool story.
That is dope.
Shout out to Doom Guy.
I will say I'm excited for this bundling that they're doing. They've enhanced it. Like how many times can you remaster that? But they've done a good job of like giving it 4K support, cross-platform play for the multiplayer elements. They've allowed you to make adjustments to the old soundtrack and new soundtrack with new music composed by his name is Andrew Schult, I think is his name. And then they've got new levels that have been made by Night Dive Studios, by id Software, and Machine Games. Yep. So like this is a love letter. Yeah. And if you haven't finished Doom, like it's legit dope. I don't know about you guys, but like I like spooky aesthetic. I don't like always being scared, but I love good spooky aesthetic. Sometimes I like horror, but it's one of those things where like you can just play Doom and be in that like spooky aesthetic and it doesn't scare you. So Doom's pretty cool. You're fighting demons the whole way through. I dig it. I think those games are fun.
And Luke, do you know why all those other companies added the levels? It wasn't just because they're prolific games. It's because a lot of their founders and original people worked with Romero. Like later on in life, as he founded a couple other studios, and it's like Ion Storm, and it didn't last very long and stuff. There's all that's in the book. A lot of those people went on to influence games like God of War, Gears of War, like Fortnite, right? That like Fortnite. Some of the original creators originally learned how to code and stuff with Romero when they were younger. So it's a really cool like family that he has bred in terms of like modern video gaming culture. It was very cool, man.
That is cool. I did not know that. That's dope. That's cool.
Moving on, oh shoot, I forgot to do the Game Pass article. Crash and what else is in there? What was the other one?
Crash,
Mafia.
And what was the one that Creatures of Ava.
Okay. So Chance, I know you told me not to buy Mafia Definitive Edition.
I don't remember saying that.
You said, yeah, you did. I asked you a few times to buy it on sale. I know. That's why I asked you. But anyway, I'm excited to check that out on PC. Even though I hear there's like a car part, a little janky, a little rough going as there's like a race you have to do.
Enjoyed it.
Okay. Well, shout out to Game Pass, the gift that keeps on giving. Let's jump into what have we been playing and or watching. We will get to Bubble Boy's Balatro Gamer Grade and Todd Oxtra's homework that I failed to do. Let's start with you, Luke. What have you been playing? Or watching? Sorry.
Well, I finished Justified and Justified City Primeval, and then I started Deadwood.
So see, I haven't gotten to Deadwood, so you're on a Timothy Oliphant.
I deep dive.
Oh, so what did you think quickly? No spoilers of Primeval compared to the original. Did you enjoy it, or did you feel like it was a little like I did?
It's kind of like watching the Babylon 5 movies. That's for Todd. Todd knows that joke. But like it's cool, but it doesn't really add much.
Okay, yeah.
I thought the last little stinger they did at the end, was cool, but they shouldn't have done it.
Okay,
like they shouldn't have done. But
will you tell these guys to watch Justified? By the way,
I'll tell you what. Like I was like, I don't know. It's kind of dumb. And then like after the second episode, I was in, and it only gets better. And Raylan Givens is so freaking cool.
So good.
He's so cool.
Especially if you like Walter Goggin.
Oh God, Walton
Goggin.
It's dope. It's dope.
Okay, sorry. Go ahead.
But I enjoyed that show. I've really been putting a lot of time into Kunitsugami, which is not a game I ever thought I'd like, but I'm loving it. Like that was what I was about to play before we jumped in. And I truly love that game. It's really fun, but I have no idea what's happening other than I'm escorting this lady down a mountain because I just don't care. But the gameplay is so much fun. So I'm really just having a good time with that. I also am kind of poking around in other titles because I went on this big kick where I did Game Pass. And now I'm just kind of figuring out where I want to go before Star Wars Outlaws. So it's been a lot of like live service stuff. I will guiltily say that I caught this bug because I've been listening to a lot of like WWE podcasts. Stick with me. And I like hearing like elite athletes talk about their lives. So like I'll listen to Shaq talk on podcasts and all these great athletes, but including The Undertaker, because he did this one thing for decades, and these are elite athletes. It's just sports entertainment. And so that kind of got me thinking about like, I guess, old school wrestling. And so I kind of fell for prey for one of those, like the Ultimate Game Sale ads, where I saw it and I was like, all those characters for this, just this little bit. I fell for it.
Happens, man.
It does. And so it's weird because it's this sim style game. So it's kind of like playing Madden, but you're playing it for wrestling, which is scripted. So like I'm simulating this kayfabe approach. It's just interesting. I'm learning, I guess is a better way to put it. It's like a neat little fill my time and learn something new type of game.
So let me cut you off then, because Daniel doesn't care at all. Greatest wrestler of all time?
It's Undertaker.
It's
Undertaker.
Okay.
Goldberg.
God. So I will tell you, Luke, I got to see when I was like 7. I don't remember. The Ultimate Warrior, who's the right answer to my question, fight the Undertaker in Denver, and the Undertaker walked. We had seats on the aisle, which it had to have been at least $7 back in the day, which in nowadays money was like 18 billion.
Yeah.
I couldn't watch him. I was so scared. I had to turn around and like hold my dad. I'm like, is he gonna eat me? The
Wrestling's
biggest
this-
human, I think. Like, I'm sure he wasn't. He's probably what, like 6'7", 6'10", I don't know. But I was like, that man is 12 feet tall. I'm sure of it. I'd never forget that moment.
So let me put this in your brains, and I'll ask the chat, I'll ask you guys, because I find this to be very interesting. We talk about the olds quite often. Our generation has this weird connection, I guess you would say, with wrestling, because there was a time pre-social media where like you weren't sure if it was real or not, right? Like,
do we all have that connection?
Like that.
I was sure it was not real.
Do we all have that connection?
I don't.
I'm not
Okay,
sure.
I think en masse, right?
Most people, Daniel.
Yeah. Pre-social media, there was like this weird, odd, strange mystique about it, and there's also a strange, and it was almost acutely American or Japanese, and there's also this strangely American thing of being into college football. It's huge, but these are students playing sports, non-professional, for like their schools, and it's huge here. And I got into this really interesting, I guess, debate, discussion, whatnot. Like, what's bigger, wrestling or college football?
I saw you post
that. Like, they're acutely American, with some
college
exception.
Football.
Do you think so? Worldwide, I think WWE's expanded. I don't
Worldwide?
know.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Worldwide, that's not fair.
Luchadores?
Worldwide wrestling, but in the United States,
Luchadores,
come on,
that's
Bubble
right.
Boy. But college football, right?
I was listening to the Xbox too, and literally had to spend 30 minutes explaining to Jez what
I didn't say worldwide. I agreed with you there. I'm thinking United States, Bubble Boy. Sports are bigger than we think, right? Chance, back me up. You think college
In
football?
the South,
I
any SEC state, sure. All of America.
I thought
I'm
that
not
Luke
dying
was
on a
going to
hill.
say that college football was fake like wrestling. I thought that was the through line we were going with.
Just that they both have this weird element to them, I guess, is what I'm saying. They're both like in this athletic realm, but like one's they're students, and yet it's
Children.
Well, you said they're
not
not paid. They kind of are paid now.
Now,
Like
but
this,
forever
yeah.
they weren't though.
But forever they were. And again, I'm thinking back to like our generation growing up, and now our generation's making games. And so I just think it's weird because I don't know wrestling, but I like to learn about it. I don't watch it. I think it's interesting, right?
Oh yeah, I haven't
also
watched it in 3 decades.
Exactly.
I think
that's kinda
you
what I'm
think
saying.
wrestling is bigger, guys, because I think wrestling has this following in the same circle of gaming, video game, like
Soap
nerds.
operas.
This
Pumps for the win. That's all you put it up there.
Yep. Wrestling has toys.
Nah, man, wrestling has toys. They went.
So we looked it up. We looked up like revenues, and they're very close to one another.
Oh wow.
In terms of like overall revenue, but like, what does that mean, right? Like, I don't know what that. It's not viewers. It's not.
Yeah, and how are
game
you
sales.
measuring college revenue? Because
How do you exactly? I just don't know, but I think it's an interesting thing, and I find that the bigger commentary on all of this is like, this got me because of a podcast and a sale. It sent me down this rabbit hole, and I wonder how many people like see Doom 1 and 2 re-enhanced on sale, and then they're going and reading Doom Guy, and they're playing Doom 3, and then Doom 2016. Like, do people go down these rabbit holes, or is that just a small amount of us? I don't know. It's just interesting.
As far as what I've been playing, guys, I'll go quickly. I finally beat, without you, since all of you left me, Remnant 2. I did beat it on my own, playing with randos.
Nice.
There's still something there. I still think
Sorry, not sorry.
there's not a very good story in there. The gameplay is okay. I wish you could remap the controls. That was one of my biggest issues. You had to use the A button to roll, and I'm so used to that being B and mapping it. I guess I could have changed it, but I didn't want to do that. But overall, I have the DLCs. I already finished one. I think I'm going to finish the other. That's been a good time. And random game, you guys, that I jumped into, and I just have to do this because I've heard nothing but great things about this, and I never played it, never beat it. Castlevania Symphony of the Night on Xbox 360 backwards compatibility. I did dusted off the old Xbox Series X to play Symphony of the Night, and I'm kind of following a guide because that game, I had no idea where I was going or what's going on in the beginning, and I'm going to try to beat it. I like Metroidvanias. This is one of the ones that started it all, so I'm trying my best to finish Symphony of the Night. Bubble Boy, did you finish Symphony or beat that game?
I did. Do you remember when I played it for the very first time?
No, I don't.
Bros Bash 2012.
Oh, was that on the PSP?
2013 on the PSP.
Oh
in
my!
Bogus's Honda Fit.
Incredible, incredible.
Bogus would have a Honda Fit.
Yeah.
It's dude,
Great
that
gas
thing.
mileage, man.
Yeah, all four of us
filled
were on
up
the Honda
like
Fit
once.
from here all the way to Phoenix. It was incredible. Love the Honda Fit.
Oh.
It's bigger than you think, Bacon. That's all.
That's what she said.
That's what she said.
Thank you. But yeah, that's all I've been playing. And Bubble, I'll save you to the
Yeah,
end.
I'll go
Chipotle
last.
Bear, what about you? What have you been playing or watching?
I've not played a lot because, like I said, so let me back up. So last Friday, because Thursday nights I edit the show before bed and stuff like that. So Friday night was Destiny night in this household with Dan and Bacon, and we are still on that ridiculous ass boss. We probably did 20 runs. And we tried like Dan not doing the power and me and Bacon doing the power. And we looked up literally how to cheese the boss. Still cannot beat that boss on Legendary. We got
Jose,
close.
why did you have to bring this up? Because I just remembered about right at the end.
Oh God, for the record, he had so
it was
little
like
health left, and then Dan had to go all patriotic on us.
I didn't do no, I didn't. No, I was. That's the thing. What makes me so mad, Jose. I was behind cover behind the wall, and it was like shooting through the wall, and I had nowhere to go because the laser would have gotten me, and I was getting hit by this random attack. I died, you guys. And it was like my only. Yeah, it was hitting me. It was hitting me.
His only death is what we're about.
Hit this attack. And so it was my only death, exactly. And it was right at the end. And so somebody was watching. I think it was Matt Valdez.
Yeah, it was.
He's like, "You're gonna get it this round," and literally jinxed us. It was so. Even Bacon's raging. Bacon wants to drop it to normal. So I don't. We're gonna get this, boys.
So
have to get it again.
So that was Friday, and then I left for Vegas. So the only thing I got to play a little bit was I went back to Stardew Valley because I want to shout out to my wife. She's on the couch over here watching TV, but she is killing it in Stardew. She's like double the amount of time that I've ever been in. She's telling me about stuff that I didn't even know existed, and she's probably playing right now. She's absolutely playing right now on her iPad. So I because of that, I was like, I want to go back in, and I do love that game. It's a wonderful game, just really relaxing. So other than that, I really haven't done anything. And then the book, excited to be back and play some games back here. I'm stuck though, because I'm waiting for Outlaws in a couple weeks, and obviously we'll play Destiny, but like I kind of want to play Dungeons of Hinterberg, and I kind of want to finish System Shock because I'm almost through that. So, choices, man, choices.
Shout out to those shorter games though.
Yeah,
big fan of those.
They're the best.
Thank you for those. Whenever,
just keep making those. Shout out to Todd Ox, intern Todd Oxer. He's got new info, immediate updates here on is which one's bigger, college football or WWE. WWE Raw has a 10-year deal for Netflix for $5 billion, and then ESPN signed a $3 billion deal for SEC football. The college football playoff on ESPN announced a $7.8 billion
just the playoff,
and Peacock has the WWE event, right? I'm telling you, US, I still think college football is bigger. I don't think because think about college football. The audience is it's such a bigger, larger pool of people. Like, no offense, I know it sounds bad, but like I don't see very many female casual fans in the WWE. Like, let's be real.
I think you're wrong now.
College.
I think you're wrong now.
Now, more, man.
Also, I'm not dying on a hill. I'm just find it interesting. Like,
yeah, no, yeah, and
I think Raw is only one of their like multiple shows they've got. And one thing about that WWE in general is like they're very agile. They adapt, and I would love to see more companies adapt, get in with what's new, shift your business plan approach. Like in general, it's just interesting to
traveling.
Watch.
Like it's. I think it's fine. It's not for you. I think you need to give it a little more credit because it.
Yeah,
maybe.
Yeah,
I mean,
I'm not. Yeah, no, me. He's talking to me. I see the appeal, but it's no. I don't know.
Before Bacon goes, real quick, hang on. Luke, did you see that tease from Gunfire about Darksiders?
Oh, dude, when he was talking Remnant 2, I put in chat like that's Gunfire Games. Darksiders is one of my favorite franchises of all time. And
I gotta play
so
3.
stoked.
I gotta play 3. I gotta put that on.
They for those that don't know, there was a teaser on YouTube yesterday that's basically this very prominent background, I should call it, from the Darksiders games, and that's it. There's no text, there's no information. It's just that, and then like a thing that says like coming soon, which means like we're getting another Darksiders, which is super dope. Sorry, Bacon, I didn't mean to cut you off.
Again. So excited.
Wait,
And
very quickly, can I just start with 3 and be fine and just play that one?
Absolutely not.
Really?
I think you could play it. I don't think you need to play them in order. It doesn't matter because they all end at the same spot, if I remember correctly.
I think 1 and 2 are better than 3, though. To be fair, that's my opinion.
I'm the other one. I
so
think it goes
old.
3, 1, and then 2. Well, and Genesis is the best.
Okay.
Genesis is my favorite, but I love Darksiders. And I was 2 doesn't age well because it's that Kingdoms of Amalur style.
Yeah.
Which was dope at the time. War, the first one with War, that's like God of War.
Yeah.
Like the first Darksiders is like God of War, old God of War, and then Darksiders 3 is kind of soulsy, but it's not like it's kind of soulsy. And Genesis is a top down, and it's dope. Genesis is my favorite.
I don't think I played Genesis. Look, I'm going to check that out.
Yeah.
Do yourself a favor. That is one of my favorite games of all time. Kid you not.
Bacon.
It's dope.
Sorry, Bacon. I cut you off, man.
What have you been playing or watching?
So after our epic defeat in Destiny, I just stayed in Destiny and put nearly 20 hours. I still have no idea where I'm at, what I'm doing. I just grab the next mission and launch
Problem
it.
with Destiny.
I'm playing in the Witch Queen. I'm playing in all the expansions at once. I'm just like, oh God, why can't you just separate these campaigns so I can get this done correctly? I got my power up to like a 1958 right now, so I think we're going to be able to beat them. I found a dope gold gun. So, and then been just grinding the battle pass on Call of Duty again to try to get this last gun unlocked. But I did start playing our new official Xbox mascot game last night, and
okay,
Crash
I gotta
Bandicoot,
stop you right there.
You're worrying or wondering is our new mascot.
No,
and
Bacon, stop. I
great.
saw someone tweet that, inciting the console wars. Crash Bandicoot, I'm sorry, is not an Xbox mascot or IP.
We own the IP.
When I think of Crash Bandicoot, I think of PlayStation 1.
Think all you want.
Insane. We may own the IP, but that is not a Microsoft mascot.
We just keep crashing a cage.
Our new mascot, and there's actually quite a lot of options for the PC version.
I don't even like Crash Bacon. He's not our mascot.
Hey, I'm just saying we now own Crash. And what I've been watching, I'm almost completed Game of Thrones, and my wife is completely enthralled again, and she's watched it through twice with me. And I'm on playthrough 4 of this thing, and I'll probably do playthrough 5 next year because it is that good.
Bacon, what was the episode you guys watched last night? Were you sent me this
season 6, episode 7.
Season 6, episode 7. Any of you who know that reference at the end of that episode, literally, I could not sleep when it happened because it was so amazing.
I knew it when it was coming. I said, my wife even knew. She's like, "This is Chapo's favorite scene." I'm like, "Yep, I might as well record it for him."
Season 6, episode 7.
The end of that episode.
I have no idea. I mean, I love that show. I have no idea what you're talking about. I have to look it up.
Yep,
they're in the north, and things happen.
Moving on, Bubble Boy, what have you been playing or watching? And give us your gamer grades for Balatro.
Well, I got to hit timeout because I've been watching. You're gonna love it. House of the Dragon. Finally, we didn't have Max for a long time, and I loved Game of Thrones, so I'm just now getting into House of the Dragon. But I won't bore you with that, Daniel. I was talking to Chapo before we started here. I have been playing Balatro for and Luke, you can take a guess too. Jose,
everybody take a guess how many hours chances into Balatro.
100 plus, just on account of
he's giving Joe a run for his money.
Wow.
Whoa.
I am up to 177.4 hours, which is over 7 days in the game Balatro, which I don't think Dan even knows what this game is.
I'm gonna have to buy
it's worth the bacon. It's good for your ally too.
Oh, it's perfect for the ally. That's why this is happening. Because anytime I'm just sitting around with like 10 minutes to spare, I'm like, well, Balatro's sitting right over there. I could just pick this bad boy up. And for the longest time, I feel bad because I was just like, well, I'm not going to review this game. Is it even a game? No, it's absolutely a game. It's absolutely worth your time. It's wonderful. I would not have sunk 177.4 hours into it were it not so. We've never done this before, but I gave it an NA for story and writing, which means for our gaming rubric, it's not going to go into the average. So it's not an F, because I feel like that wouldn't be fair. There is no story, there is no writing, so it's just NA. Doesn't hurt, doesn't help. For math, I have to give it an A. It is absolutely worth my time, worth my money. I happened to get it for the cool price of free $3.99 because it was a birthday present from the wonderful Chipotle Bear. But I think you can usually get it for like 15 on Steam and
$13.49 right now.
Yeah, I mean that's a steal. And I don't expect everybody to spend 177 hours on this thing, but and I'm not done either. So it's not like 177 I'm maxed out. I still have things to do, and not things like achievements to get. I haven't technically beat what I consider beating the game. So bugs, tech, the science for the grade that I gave it a C. It's nothing fancy. It's literally just a card game that's turned into a roguelite, and there's all kinds of different jokers if you didn't know. So nothing crazy, but also it doesn't crash. There's no stuttering, no bugs or anything, and so I'm not going to knock it for that. So it gets a solid C. Our social studies grade, world building, setting, characters, again an NA. I'm not going to give it an F or anything because it doesn't exist. So which I think is fair. We can talk about later if someone disagrees. Art, I gave it a C minus. I think they could have done a little bit more whether it comes to choosing different backgrounds. It's just the same background that the color changes every once in a while. A lot of the Joker cards have some cool little art on them, but again, it's nothing fancy, and some of them are pretty boring. Music was a place I had to downgrade it for sure. So music is all things sound, and there is literally one song throughout this entire game. They play one song the entire time. And so I literally play it on mute now, even if I'm all alone in the house and don't need to play it on mute. I play it on mute because I can't take the sound of the song anymore 177 hours later. But for the final grade, PE, is it fun? The most important class that we have here. I gave it a B because it is fun. I mean, I'm over 7 days of time into this game. I can't say I've been playing a game for 7 hours or 7 days and then say it sucks. It's addicting, but it not in a way, not like Elden Ring where I'm thinking about it when I go to sleep and I have to play it when I get home and I'm talking about it with friends. Like I said, I'm just sitting there and I'm like, oh, well, BALATRO looks like it could use some help. And if you do know what I'm talking about, if you have played the game, I'm still on the gold stake level, which is like the last stake, if you will, and I still haven't beat that. So as soon as I get the gold stake run completed, I think I'll be done. So all that put together, 2.4 GPA, which is good for a B minus, which I think is fair. Jose, you've played it, right? Does that seem fair to you?
Absolutely. The one consideration I would just be to clear is it was made by one dude. So not that should give it a pass, but that's pretty impressive for one guy making it. At the same time, a game like I mentioned, Stardew Valley was also only made by one dude, and it has significantly more art and music and that kind of stuff. Again, not knocking BALATRO. I loved BALATRO. It's great, but it's honestly, I had to put it down. I didn't delete it, but it was one of those where I have to walk away because the same thing would happen. I'd go to play a game and I'd be like, I could get one game of BALATRO in, and it sucks away the time, which is insane.
I have Kunitsugami and Pacific Drive sitting on my Ally ready to go. I desperately want to play both of them, and I cannot start because BALATRO
starting that gambling addiction early. Am I right, Bubble Boy?
Yep.
Todd, if you start Kunitsugami, can you let me know what it's about? I've put 20 plus hours in. No idea.
I think I have to now because you said that. Yeah, so I will.
Todd, are you saying you have 150 hours in BALATRO, or is that a reference?
He was guessing chances. He was guessing chances.
Okay. I know Joe has at least that much, and he's been raving about BALATRO. That's his game of the year so far. And Todd also said, fun fact, BALATRO is Joker in Ancient Roman dialect. I think I remember, I don't know if you said that or someone else said that, but shout out.
Ain said that on his show when it first came out.
Yeah, shout out to BALATRO. I will not be playing it because it sounds very addicting. I'm afraid to get addicted. Anybody else have anything they want to shout out for what they've been playing and or watching?
No, but can we save the homework for next week? I would like to think about it. I didn't read the notes till today. Sorry,
Todd. That's good. We'll save it. We weren't anticipating Luke being here, so we will save who would we want to star and cast for the new Marvel Cinematic Universe X-Men. We will save that, Todd. I promise we will get to that. Gentlemen, let's close the show like we always do
with the best food we had this week. Luke, before I throw it over to you, think about it for a little bit. I've got mine real quick. Guys, I tried something new at McDonald's, believe it or not.
This is bold. I read this earlier.
I tried a McDouble with bacon because they had like some deal
You got
going
it
on.
for free, right? Because the Rockies
with the app,
get a double.
No, well, I mean, they're not going to give you the one with bacon for free. But anyway, and I added lettuce and mayonnaise. Jose. Because again, they were out of the smoky QPC. That was gone. I missed out.
I
It's
hate
gone
that.
forever. But I got to say, bacon, this is up there as good. Almost, I don't know which is better now, the QPC with my additions or this McDouble with bacon, lettuce, and mayo. I was blown away. It might be cheaper as well on the app. Shout out to my McDonald's experience. Also tried the Kit Kat Banana McFlurry. This is pass for me, guys. Don't do it. Do not do it. Stick with your Oreo McFlurry. Okay? I'm just telling you right now, stick with the GOAT. There's no reason to venture out. It's not worth it at all. And Jose, will you please add one more pizza to the list? I had, like, you saw me eating live tonight. Papa John's stuffed crust. My gosh. So good. Bubble Boy, what about you? What was the best food you had this week?
So I don't think it counts, and because I'm a terrible human being. The count down there is that just Daniel or is that everybody?
That is a team effort, sir.
Okay, I'm a terrible human. Okay.
To be fair, the breakfast burritos is 96%.
That's why I had to ask. I was like, how come Daniel's the only one? I think we've talked about this before, but I was like, I can't remember. Massive shout out to Motor City Pizzas from Costco. The
Fantastic.
frozen pizza that you can get from Costco. That's the Detroit style deep dish. You exactly for $15, which might sound crazy, except that everything's at least $10 at Costco. And
you could get two carryout pizzas for $7.99 from Domino's or Pizza Hut or Papa John's.
And I am with you, Daniel, on the Domino's deep dish, the pan that they have. But these Detroit or Motor City pizzas, if you have a
it's
Costco
convenience.
membership,
Yeah.
just fantastic. They only have it in meat
They're good,
lovers, which is really the only flavor anybody should eat anyway. And so that was it. That wins because I had it twice too because we ate them both, not on the same night, but.
Dan, you know what's amazing about it is that like if it's Friday night and it's like 10 p.m. and you're like, I'm going to go game.
I'm going to Domino's.
Domino's is not open, at least by my house at 10 o'clock. Just throwing that out. But I'm saying that's the beauty of these things is there and they're tasty, man.
I've had the pizza. It's good.
Bacon was the one who told us about them. So shout out.
But you know what? I gotta stop Todd because Todd's gonna be like, "Oh, Detroit style pizza is the best." Blah blah blah. Michigan. You know what's the best, Todd?
He just
home run in pizza. See, I told. Did I not call you home run in pizza? Chicago. That is my kind of pizza, and that's not like their stupid. What do they call their pizza? The one that's just soup. Dish. Oh, just absolutely disgusting. Shout out to the chat. Do we have anybody? Oh, Todd wants to know, Luke, what is your stance on McDonald's? He's going to shame it. He's going to say it's for trash people because he grew up going to Smashburger and eating fancy fast food burgers. So let's hear it, Luke. What do you got? What do you got to say? What's your stance on McDonald's?
McDonald's, it's not my jam, but I don't like nothing wrong with it. I enjoy a good McDonald's breakfast. But I find like
all day.
I would never dunk on McDonald's.
What's your go-to? Yeah, I don't know.
Sausage
for breakfast?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm because I grew up like playing soccer. Like what we would do is like we'd pick up McDonald's for the road, have a good Egg McMuffin because it's got good energy. It's not like terrible, not heavy. So an Egg McMuffin or two or a chicken biscuit. Play, go through the day, and there you go. Like I would get like as a kid, it was Egg McMuffin and orange juice.
Yep.
And then soccer game. And so like in my mind, that's what it is. But I'm just I'm a simple guy. And like now it's coffee, 2 sugars, it's rock, you know.
Luke, when I was a teacher, I think it was my 3rd year teaching, I bought my whole class Egg McMuffins because they were $1. It was when they were doing a promo and I pulled up to drive through. I was like, I need 32 Egg McMuffins. You're gonna have to come in. I was like, okay. I was
my first year teaching, I was a terrible adult just in general. And I was not a good. It was just bad. But like I would regularly be late to work, which is a huge no-no in teaching, right? Like a bad move. And like I'd walk in with McDonald's and like I gained a ton of weight. I was not a good teacher. I was not focused. My homeroom would be like, "What'd you get today, Mr. Lohr?" And I'd be like, "It's whatever, guys." It was bad. It was
You
bad.
smell it. He'd hold it in front of him. Take
Oh,
it.
it was rough.
Were they covering for you? That's when you know it's really bad. When the kid's like, "No, he's just making copies."
No, they didn't like me. I didn't like them. I was not a good. And like it was bad. I had the worst mentality you can have, which is like, I'm great. You should all look at me. It was terrible. It was so bad. Like if there was a model of how not to be. But I will tell you, I got hooked on. Was it iced vanilla lattes? It was just still the most delicious drink ever. But it added like I gained like 30 pounds.
It's a ton of calories.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it was bad. It was bad.
Who is the
Does
guy?
that answer your
Bacon?
question?
Let bacon go.
So the wife has surprised me. She the other day I heard her just messing around in the kitchen. And I walked in and she was making a marinade for a steak, and she's just like throwing stuff in a bag and mixing it. And I'm like, oh, here we go. It could be good or could be bad. And probably the best steak I've had in 20 years. I actually looked over at her and I said, this is ridiculous. And like she gets a lot of stuff off like Pinterest and like cooking shows, and like she's all in there all excited, and I'm like, all right. But this one I'm actually like, huh. So then she followed up, made some ribs the other day on the smoker. Super good.
That Traeger, right? Am I right? Bacon, the Traeger.
Not go wrong with the Traeger. So hot tip, I was grocery shopping the other day, and after we talked about the banana pudding I had in on the Western Slope, Bluebell makes a banana pudding ice cream. So we grab it and we're like, oh, is this going to have Nilla wafers in it? And she went back after we checked out to get a box of Nilla wafers. So pro strat here, you get the ice cream, then you crumble up some Nilla wafers on top of it. Dude, choice. So good.
Love it.
And add me a QPC from this evening, because
it's a copy.
We're always running late on podcast nights. So
that's what I'm talking about. Shout out to the chat before I go over to Jose. Todd said, I worked at a Wendy's in high school, Dan. Todd, that's incredible.
Are you stealing?
We all love Wendy's and the JBCs. The junior bacon cheeseburger, one of the greatest.
Double stacks.
Oh, just Wendy's is incredible and
Spicy
a staple.
Nugs are the best.
It might be the overall best, but my problem with the Wendy's, Jose, inconsistent.
The fries also. Not a fan of the
Sometimes
fries.
it's good, sometimes it's not. That's the problem. That's the problem, you guys.
That is the fair statement.
Okay, Todd did say home run and pizza is pretty good. Thank you. Nessa said, hey, you guys need to go to Starbucks and get a sugar-free vanilla and skim milk grande. It's only 100 calories.
It's a pro tip for you, Luke. There you
I
go.
don't want a grande. I want a large.
Todd said he manned the grill and made the chili.
Always large.
The Wendy's famous chili. Shout out. Chipotle Bear, what was the best food you had?
So I had a stellar week because we went to Vegas, and if there is one thing that Vegas is known for besides gambling, it is of course food. So I picked top three, and I have a picture of my number one. My third one was a chicken and waffle sandwich. That was breakfast.
I forgot about the pictures.
Day.
Let's see it.
So literally, it was like a waffle and then a chicken cutlet, and they cut it in half, and it was doused in syrup with fries. Fantastic. At the Sea Breeze at Mandalay Bay. Shout out to them. Then the second thing was on the last day, we found this place called Citizen Kitchen or something like that. And it was just biscuits and gravy, but it had like fries underneath, eggs on top. It was like homemade gravy. Stellar. Like absolutely amazing.
Incredible.
And my number one choice was this bad boy right here.
Oh, yeah.
This is from the one and only Guy Fieri.
Look at that shredded lettuce, Jose, and the bacon. Did we not talk about this last week, Jose?
At his Vegas kitchen at the Link Hotel, which I didn't know was a thing, but it is. And it literally is mac and cheese on top of a burger with bacon on top. And then like a mix of fries.
I'm going to have to try
waffle
this.
fries. There were like cut fries. There were like crinkle fries. It was outstanding. Like that just for reference, that's good, but got to be a good 7 inches tall, like as a thing. I ate the whole thing. Like it showed up and I was like afraid, and I don't get afraid, but I was like, I don't know, man.
Let him think it's 7 inches.
Just thank you, Luke, for going with me on that. It was outstanding. So if you are in Vegas and you want it was rated the number one burger on the strip. I don't know who voted. They didn't ask me. But man, that says something because there's a lot of good burgers in Vegas. So if
If
you're in that neighborhood, go check out the mac and cheese bacon burger,
dude,
at Guy Fieri's Vegas kitchen. It was stellar, man.
Is that how you say his name? Fieri's?
Fieri, yeah.
Okay.
They don't say Fieri.
That's what I thought.
I say Fieri.
Yeah.
Jose, that looks incredible. I'm gonna get some Kraft macaroni and cheese and throw it on a burger next time. I burgers,
Matt,
honestly, it's a close second.
Don't be a hater on Kraft macaroni and cheese. Are you kidding me?
We've already
Somebody
been
put
over this.
Bubble Boy on a
Velveeta,
5-minute.
shells and cheese.
Okay, I like that too, but Kraft mac and cheese is delicious as well. Come on, Luke, did you describe the best food? I can't remember. Or you were talking about McDonald's. Go ahead.
No. So I've been working out all summer, feeling tough, feeling cool.
Luke's bragging about his workouts, you guys, again.
No, nothing like Dan, Mr. I'm going to the hospital for pre-workout.
Oh, shots fired.
But I picked up an injury.
Wait. Didn't you say it was a scrotal tear? A scrotal tear is what you said I
did
had.
say it was a scrotal tear.
Yes. Let everyone know. Luke did not believe me when I went to the emergency room when I almost died from my pre-workout.
He's on again, by the way.
It's that I'm judging you for the way you're handling it.
He's like, don't be embarrassed that you had a scrotal tear, Dan. Okay, anyway, go ahead.
Hey, we're on your side, man. But no, so I picked up an injury this week, which is infuriating. If you've been working and really making progress and like picked up an injury, it's just so frustrating because it sets you back.
It does suck.
And I did the one thing that you're not supposed to do, which is eat your feelings because it sets you back further. So I had some hella good food this week. There's a local pizza place called Elizabeth's. They do great
nice
New York style pizza.
Oh, perfect.
Crush
My favorite.
that. Local place that does burgers called Dirtbag. Crushed that. So good. Ice cream. The ice cream, by the way, has no sugar and no dairy and no something else. And it's so weird. I'm like, what does it have? This is.
I think you just ate dirt, Luke.
I don't know what it was.
Yeah,
it
he's
wasn't
eating my
bad.
pre-workout ingredients.
I was kind of like, this can't be right. It was very strange, but like I've just been eating my white macadamia nut cookies. Just been crushing those. It's been bad, and like the only healthy food I had was an apple, which is just more sugar. So not making great choices the last few days as I eat my feelings. But
right.
I finished my Fortnite battle pass, so there's that.
You only live right. Shout out to Luke. Matt Valdez says, I've been going for the fat burger, skinny burger, 2 patties instead of buns. It's great. That sounds.
Let's call Matt.
Matt, I'm all about that. These jabronis made fun of me because I go to In-N-Out and I get the lettuce as instead of the bread when I go there.
He misses the point of In-N-Out.
It's just
save the calories. Save the calories, you guys. Matt, I'm right there with you. I love that. Todd said I'm taking PEDs to beat Elden Ring. And I think that's everything. Anyone else have anything in the chat that I missed for the best food?
Nope.
I don't think so. Gentlemen, this has been the Nerd Chat episode 171. I don't even know the title. It was something to do with
Time for Hogwarts Legacy 2?
I've never read or watched a Harry Potter movie or book. So, and like I said, I never will. My name is Daddy Diwali. You can follow me at Daddy Diwali across all social media. You can follow the show at the Nerd Chat Podcast everywhere. Jose, can you bring up the clicker one more time? We've got 200 and where we lost a sub, unfortunately, 67 subscribers, 106 Popeyes spicy regular chicken sandwiches eaten, 83 breakfast burritos devoured, 28 Chipotle burritos, 47 Big Macs QPCs. Oh my gosh, look at the pizzas. 102 pizzas eaten. Add another Chipotle to the list. Chipotle Bear, where can people find you?
You can find me on Chipotle_bear on X or Twitter platform, whatever you want to call it. And of course on Xbox Online. I want to give a huge shout out to everybody in the chat again, guys. We love seeing you guys. We love spending time Thursday night with you, whatever you're doing, gaming, lurking, listening, lifting for pumps. Thank you guys for coming, hanging out with us. And of course, our boy Luke. Always great to have Luke on the show. And make sure you go listen to XCP this Saturday. Luke, what are you guys going to be talking about there?
Very similar to topics to this one, the Doom remasters, just what's going on with WB, if anything, Creatures of Ava arriving to Game Pass. There's some Black Ops 6 news, which is kind of cool, but we're on the eve of silly season, which I'm looking forward to, which is cool. And I will say, I just put up a headset review for the Arctis Nova Pro Wireless. That's a great headset. I had every single problem you can have in editing, It was just the worst thing. You know where nothing works, where everything you want to work when you're producing,
You have to undo everything. You're like undo.
but something that should have taken me 5-6 hours took 15, 20. It was awful. It's the worst thing. I'm not happy with it, but it's out, so please check that out. And the headset's amazing. I'm not happy with my review of it though. Like, great script. I'm very proud of that. The editing, the production just didn't click.
Were you using my mic? Is that why it didn't go well?
Oddly enough, it had to have been from the same makers. I just framey, desyncing. It was a mess. It was a mess.
I thought I heard Bubble Boy calling in from Paris there. X Bacon Gaming, where can people find you?
You can find me on Twitter at XBaconGaming and on all gaming platforms at XBaconGaming. I'm very proud of myself. I had no hot takes this week. I feel like I was just a fly on the wall. I was just sunk in my chair. I don't think I'll make a single one of our shorts this week. So
I love the shorts. I love it. That engagement.
I love your shorts, Bacon.
I think my Concord one's going to get some hate if it gets on Twitter. So
I think it is too.
Let's just keep it off Twitter because those boys are. I did say we need more factions though, so they should be happy.
Yeah, exactly.
Thanks for everyone for showing up. The chat has been awesome, and we got Luke for almost an entire episode.
Yeah, basically, we'll count this
just
as an
invite.
We're just sick of inviting. It was every week for like
I'm gonna call Logan in here next time.
Well,
what is this? Matt Valdez said bacon is king. What the hell is going on with you, Matt?
I think he meant
Matt
the
likes
food.
my hot takes.
Had to have been from Jose's Burger. He's catching up.
And De Niro Primero, Bubble Boy. Next time, make sure the string is pulled tight and speak directly into the tin can. Shout out to De Niro Primero. Bubble Boy, where can people find you?
Oh, you can't find me. And if you're a kid that goes to my school, you can't find me. School started today. Everybody wants their damn schedule changed. You can't find me. I'm saying no to all of them. So just you can't find me. Okay, it's easier that way.
As always, gentlemen, see you online.
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 You know how long I've been waiting for this? I'm about to make a name for myself here. You just make sure people know what happened here today.
The Nerd Chat is an Xbox podcast celebrating all things gaming, food, and the good old days. You can follow the show at The Nerd Chat across all social media. The show was created by Daniel Wolenzik, and you can follow him at Daddy D. Wally. The lead producer and co-host is Jose Martinez, and you can follow him at Chipotle_bear. And former intern, recently promoted co-host Jason Jarrett can be found at XBaconGaming. If you'd like to find out more about the show, please visit nerdchatmedia.com. And as always, see you online.